Donald Trump has reached a shocking new level of instability. I didn't think it was possible for him to sink any lower. But that's exactly what happened this morning, as he struggled with his fractured party, the fallout from the Epstein files, and Democrats outmaneuvering him. Trump doubled down on threats against members of Congress in an alarming post clearly aimed at Bondi. His meltdown over Bondi has only highlighted the failure of these threats. We're going to break it all down, but first, if you could, please leave a like on this video and subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Your support helps us continue this work. Now, before diving into Trump's posts and his reaction to his collapsing term, let's start with one of the Democrats he attacked this morning, Jason Crow, right here.
Let's get to the content of what you had in that video you released, because there are also 15 House Republicans who are also veterans who released a video, including a retired 3-star Marine Corps General, Jack Bergman. Take a listen to this.
Troops, listen up. Any service member who refuses a lawful order is subject to court-martial for violating the Uniform Code of Military Justice.
We study what's lawful and what's not lawful, and the Democrats stunt insinuating that they're illegal or unconstitutional orders. It's downright dangerous.
It is corrosive. It is meant to weaken our country and weaken the military.
How do you respond to these allegations from your colleagues, fellow veterans, that what you have put out there is weakening and corrosive to the military?
Well, these unfortunately are some of Trump's core supporters that are rallying behind the president, and they know better. They know exactly the difference between lawful versus unlawful. We were very clear in the video that what we're talking about is unlawful orders. You have the president's spokesperson going into a press conference this past week and saying that we called for people to disobey lawful orders. They're simply lying because the truth is unacceptable to them. It's unacceptable. We wanted to start a conversation, and we did, about the dangerous rhetoric this president is using and the threats that he's made to use our military in an unlawful way.
Specifically what?
Well, send troops into Chicago, send troops into polling stations, kill terrorists' families, arrest and execute members of Congress, shoot peaceful protesters in Lafayette Square. Need I go on? He has a history of doing this. And if we wait until the moment that he gives a manifestly unlawful order to a young soldier, then we have failed them. We have to start that conversation now and get people thinking about the distinction, which is exactly what we did.
Yeah.
I'm really glad that Congressman Crow, who has consistently spoken out during this term about Donald Trump's deliberate attempts to undermine the military, continues to do so. This isn't just about Trump panicking that Democrats have instructed troops to refuse illegal orders, which, if you're upset about that, implies you believe your side might be breaking the law and that Trump would actually order the military to carry out illegal actions. So, in a way, it's a self-report from the right. Crow has highlighted this throughout Trump's term, and it's important we see those examples. Trump isn't just trying to erode trust in the military. He wants to change the perception of who they serve. That's why one of his billionaire allies wrote a $130 million illegal check to the military. Trump wants people to believe the troops answer to him personally, that he is the ultimate authority, and that when he says it's time to shoot protesters in the legs, the troops will obey. This represents a new level of derangement, which we can see clearly in the post that AOC perfectly explains here.
To be honest, the president's remarks I think, indicate a level of instability. It's not just shocking, it's not just offensive, it's bizarre, it is erratic, it's volatile, and I think it indicates a mental state that we should all be questioning right now, whether that's emotional, mental, what have you. It is not normal to make these accusations. It is not normal to invoke these kinds of threats of violence. And it's also not normal to also dramatically misquote, as Carolyn Leavitt was doing, what these members of Congress said. They made a very clear message to U.S. service members, which is that you do not have to obey an illegal order. And I think that's an important message to reiterate because this administration seems to be increasingly trying to go down that path.
It is a level of derangement that we have never seen before. I know that's difficult to say considering that Trump has always had these authoritarian tendencies. He has always broken norms. He has always directed hate and violence, promoted it, excused it, supported it at every level of government. But this is a level of derangement, again, that just hasn't been seen before. It is very open, and that is purposeful because Donald Trump wants us to think that if all of this stuff is just happening around us all the time, we'll become numb to it. We'll just go, oh, that's Donald Trump. Oh, this is going to keep happening. Oh, there's going to be political violence. But we can't allow ourselves to become numb to it. We have to point it out, and we have to talk about the source of it, which is Donald Trump's obvious cognitive decline, which is why he's been slipping up so much. Like it was only a few weeks ago when he was posting a DM directly to Pam Bondi accidentally to Truth Social. And now, it looks like, according to Ron Filipski of Midas Touch's post this morning, we're doing just that. Trump wrote on Truth Social, "Many great legal scholars agree that the Democrat traitors that told the military to disobey my orders as president have committed a crime of serious proportion." Trump then writes, "The traitors that told the military to disobey my orders should be in jail right now, not roaming the fake news networks trying to explain that what they said was okay. It wasn't and never will be. It was sedition at the highest level, and sedition is a major crime. There can be no other interpretation of what they said." And Ron Filipowski wrote, "Is he posting his DMs to Bondi again?" And we remember that Donald Trump accidentally, only a few short weeks ago, posted a message pressuring Pam Bondi to charge his enemies on Truth Social. Donald Trump is now openly claiming that his political opponents, the Democrats speaking out against his abuse of the military, should be jailed. He's not just sharing conspiratorial content or retweeting claims. He's invoking obscure and legally dubious theories to justify this. So, is this just Trump rambling into the void, or is he once again directing Pam Bondi? The tweet, which seems to echo a DM meant for Bondi, included his signature phrases like "shifty shift" and was written in all caps. It's reasonable to interpret this Truth Social post as Trump pressuring Bondi to prosecute these Democrats, holding them accountable, despite them not breaking the law and simply performing their duties as members of Congress and veterans. To me, and as Ron Filipkowski has noted, this clearly shows Trump's anger at Bondi for failing to take down his political enemies. Previous efforts like investigations or supposed indictments involving James Comey have backfired, exposing incompetence within his circle. Similarly, Letitia James's work and investigations into mortgage fraud or other alleged crimes targeting officials like Adam Schiff or Eric Swalwell have highlighted wrongdoing within Trump's own administration. Naturally, he's frustrated that Bondi hasn't delivered on his demands. Trump's repeated outbursts reveal a mix of personal rage, fascist tendencies, and a desperate attempt to distract from major news, specifically the historic passage of the bill forcing the release of the Epstein files. He's in full meltdown mode, and Democrats like Alyssa Slotkin are calling out both his threats and his increasingly erratic behavior.
Well, I think almost immediately, the security situation changed for all of us. Leadership climate is set at the top. So if the president's saying things like that, you can imagine people on the ground, what they're doing, the calls into our office, et cetera, into our teams, the calling of police. I think I've been through dangerous situations before, so it doesn't change, my feeling about speaking my mind. But obviously, the president took issue with one sentence in a video and was calling for our death. I think that's inappropriate, whether you're a Democrat, Republican, or an independent.
The White House says President Trump wasn't threatening death, but thinks you and the other members are in serious trouble. Are you concerned about any of that? Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche said you should be held to account.
Look, I think there's no secret that the president is trying to weaponize the Justice Department. We've seen him do this many times with many different people already. Again, this is a tool of fear. He's trying to get us to shut up because he doesn't want to be talking about this. And in fact, I would argue that one of the things that he's been doing by repeating it and talking about it is trying to distract us from the big stories of last week, which were the Epstein files and then the economy. And I took note yesterday at 9 o'clock at night, he's tweeting that there's no inflation, the economy's the best it's ever been. It was kind of amazing considering that the American public isn't stupid. It actually reminded me of Joe Biden, right? Joe Biden tried to tell us for a year that the economy was great. Now this president, who ran on lowering costs for Americans.
We know exactly what Trump is trying to do. He wants to distract, shift the focus, and intimidate us, but that is the last thing we should allow. We need to stay strong and stand up to Donald Trump. We'll continue covering this on the show, and I'm planning to feature more Democrats who have spoken out against him. We've had Jason Crow on before, and we'll bring more voices like his to the show. If you want to follow along and support this work, hit that subscribe button and leave a like on this video. If you stayed until the end, drop a blue heart in the comments. And until next time, I will see you soon.